everybody, this is Gap, and tonight we have a special guest for you. Guests, I should say. We have Frederick and Joe from Terminal Reality. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Doing good, man.
Good, good. Glad you guys could join us. Tonight we're going to be talking BloodRayne. It's your guys' just-announced PC/Xbox title.
That's true. It's actually also slated for PlayStation 2 and GameCube.
Wow. All right, sweet. So you're just going to hit all the platforms.
Yep, that's the plan.
Cool.
You know, the guys here who are working on the project have busted their ass to create just, you know, a kick-ass experience, and luckily for us, Majesco recognized that and really felt strong about making sure that it got on all the platforms. So we're working really hard to make sure that we create something that fans of every platform will enjoy.
Cool. Before we get into the specifics of the game and stuff, why don't you guys let us know individually your backgrounds in gaming, maybe, you know, how you got started and how you came about to work together at Terminal Reality.
Okay, sure. Myself, again, my name is Frederick, and I serve at Terminal Reality kind of in a dual position. The first position is as their new business development director, and I basically work to get us new game opportunities and to focus on getting press opportunities for the company. That kind of came about through a long way, which is kind of my entryway into the game industry. I started in the industry about 6 years ago, working at an electronics boutique store. I had just graduated from UNC and was trying to get into advertising. And
Tar Heel, huh?
Yeah, I'm a Tar Heel dude, yep.
Okay.
So I didn't really have an interest in video games except for, you know, sports games that I play in the dorm and stuff. And I started just a small gig at Electronics Boutique, and I really just got a crash course in people's excitements for games. And then I started doing game reviews for allgames.com. And when I moved to Dallas, Texas, I got a job working with Rap Collins Worldwide, which is a huge advertising agency, partnered with Shy Day. And we worked on a lot of the first-party marketing directly with Sony for all Sony PlayStation products for first-party, stuff like Crash Bandicoot and Gran Turismo and a Mega Boost. And I just had such a blast with that I decided I really want to get in the actual industry. So I got a job with the Gathering of Developers, which was Mike Wilson and his crew out here in Dallas. And that was just awesome. I mean, that was everything that video games should be. I mean, it was just cool people having a great time. I met so many different people, celebrities and so forth. And it was just a blast. And that's actually where I met Terminal Reality. And I then started a company, which is the first African-American-owned video game company called Chameleon. And TRI and I were sharing technology and sharing a lot of assets, and we partnered together. And they said, hey, come aboard and help us do some stuff, and we'll work with you to kind of get stuff going with Chameleon, and that's where we're at.
Cool, man. Cool. How about you, Joe?
Well, mine's a little less in-depth as Frederick's. Aside from being a hardcore gamer since the Atari 2600,
right.
I started at Terminal Reality in 1998, fresh out of college, doing level and character design for a game called Nocturne.
Oh, okay.
After that, I did game design for Blair Witch Volume 1, Rust and Par, and currently I'm working on BloodRayne.
Cool.
Game designer.
Cool. Yeah, I actually, the Blair Witch series are actually one of the first reviews we had here at XGR.com. Again, we're talking with Frederick and Joe from Terminal Reality, makers of the upcoming BloodRayne. So, BloodRayne, let's start with, I guess, the name. Why BloodRayne?
All right, well, she's part vampire, part human. She's very lethal, very sexy, very action-packed. She's going to be able to do so much crazy gun-fu, kung-fu, fang-fu, whatever you can think of.
I hope you have all those trademarked. Fang-fu? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to explain the fang-fu to us.
Well, because she is part vampire, she can replenish her health by sucking almost any character's blood.
Okay, I was hoping you were going to say blood there at the end. What kind of rating are you looking for?
We're going for an M.
Are you going for an M? Okay. Is that a first for you guys at Terminal Reality?
No, a Nocturne and Blair Witch Volume 1 were both M also.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can tell us kind of the backstory to the BloodRayne character. I know it takes place in the 1930s.
That's correct. She's an agent of a top-secret government agency that's meant to deal with supernatural, sort of like an X-Files.
Okay.
X-Files meets Untouchables in a way. And she ends up discovering some secret plots of some pre-war Nazis, and they're in search of these powerful relics in order to win the upcoming war. And in this, they're releasing these hordes of monstrous supernatural nightmares, and she has to deal with this.
Wow, cool. So what, I mean, does this take place in, I assume when you say pre-Nazis, it takes place on our planet, on our world?
Yes, it's kind of an alternate reality in a way.
Okay.
We are trying to keep a lot of facts true in order to make our fabricated elements seem more plausible and more believable. Draw the player in.
Okay, what type of, I mean, besides obviously the fangs, what other type of weapons and stuff will BloodRayne be wielding against her enemies?
Well, by default, she has these giant 3-foot-long blades hinged at her wrists.
Nice.
Total melee. She can do all these fighting combos and really deal some major damage with that. She also has a harpoon, sort of along the lines of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, where she can get a victim, draw them in, and then she can bite them.
You mentioned the pre-Nazis. I assume there will be other enemies or foes that she'll come up against?
Yeah, I would like to clarify pre-Nazis,
Mm-hmm.
but there's been some confusion on that, and I've seen some of the comments online and everything. What it is in 1919, Hitler joined a group called the National Socialist Workers' Party or something like that.
Okay.
NSDAP or something. In 1921, he became chairman, and it wasn't until 1930 that they were technically called Nazis. Her first mission takes place in 1927.
Okay.
That's where she deals with these pre-Nazis. But most of the game does take place in the Nazi era, so just to save any confusion, they're all Nazis.
They're just the early stages of the Nazis.
Right.
Okay. So is that going to be her main, I guess, foe throughout the game?
They're pretty much throughout the game, but there are far more enemies. There's like I said, in their quest for these powerful relics, they're releasing these pretty much clans of different monsters. And how much in detail can I go into this? we do want to keep a lot of this kind of under wraps.
Sure. You can just obviously we'll be battling some supernatural enemies.
Right.
Okay. Different clans, different types.
Zombies.
I'm sorry?
No zombies.
No zombies. Okay.
We just feel that zombies are a little bit overdone. It's kind of boring behavior. They just kind of lumber towards you and you shoot them. Our enemies are going to be a lot more cunning, a lot more visceral. I guess think along the lines of the feelings that you got when you watched Aliens or John Carpenter's The Thing, stuff like that.
Okay.
Horrendous, unfathomable stuff.
Okay. Stuff you can really use that M rating for.
Yeah.
Let me add this in too, man. One thing I can say about Joe and his team and what they've done, it's actually being produced by a guy named Jeff Mills, and Joe and Jeff are kind of like leading this project together, definitely. And one thing I can say about the scope and the vision they have of it, man, is that it is so just incredibly dark and atmospheric and with tons of action to it. And, it's kind of one of those things where it's like such a cool experience that for us to get into it too much. It's not that we don't want to tell gamers, we're bursting at the seams too, but it's like, we want them to get those surprises that we get when we play through it. It's an incredible game.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to spoil the surprises. It sounds almost like you've taken like the creepiness of Nocturne and turned up the action quotient a notch.
Oh, action is definitely turned up.
Cool. What are some of the different locales that will be, I mean, obviously, 1930s Germany and stuff like that, I imagine we'll get to, but what are some of the other different locales, if you can tell us, that we'll be visiting with BloodRayne?
You'll be visiting the dark bayous of Louisiana at one point, swampy marshland, and all kinds of weird, I will say, some mutations going on and some other darker secrets happening. You'll also visit a giant cathedral-like castle in Germany, in the mountains of Germany. You'll also be visiting a top-secret German sub-bay in Argentina, where there are also, again, top-secret searches going on. And those are the biggest environments, but there's sub-levels to all of them.
Again, we're talking with Frederick Jones and Joe from, your last name, Wampole?
Wampole.
Wampole. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to mess it up.
Okay.
I have a last name that people mess up all the time. That's why I go by Palygap. From Terminal Reality, makers of BloodRayne. It's an upcoming multi-platform game, not only just Xbox, PC, but GameCube and PS1 or 2. Did you say?
2.
With this game, you guys are using your Infernal engine. What made you? A lot of nowadays it's almost like it seems like everybody wants to use somebody else's engine. What made you? What did you guys beef up about it, or you like about your engine that others couldn't do to use it for this game?
Well, actually, you know what? Let me answer that in 2 ways. First
Okay.
of all, Terminal Reality is a company that has pioneered fantastic technology. We, the fantastic thing about this company is in the 7 or 8 years we've been together, the Terminal Reality has existed. They were founded by a guy named Mark Randall, who is one of the chief lead programmers on the technology used for Flight Simulator. And Mark has consistently done incredible things with the tech to really allow us to have, really be a step ahead of the competition. Nocturne was one of the first games to use dynamic lighting and real-time shadows and things like that. Kart Precision Racing was one of the first kart racing games to really institute a lot of cool physics and work exactly with the kart association. So we've always been technically very proficient, and this is an example where, as the company moves towards an all-console focus, we knew that we were going to have to develop engine technology that would allow us to really take advantage of the PlayStation 2s and the Xboxes and the GameCube so that the fans got exactly what they wanted and someone didn't feel like they got skimped out on because the Xbox version can do this and that version can't. This is technology that's completely portable and works across the board.
How is it for you guys to develop not only a multi-platform game, but because with PCs, you have such a range. You have the guys who have the Voodoo 2s in their system, all the way up to the GeForce 3s that are just outrageous and screaming now. How do you guys find that middle ground so that everybody can enjoy the game?
You know what? Actually, Jeff Mills, who's the game's producer, is here, right? And that's a question that he can answer.
Okay.
So, Jeff,
one of the main reasons we've decided to go to consoles is because of that difficulty with the PCs. That was one of the major problems we had with Nocturne a couple of years ago. We made this fantastic engine that was extremely powerful, but it required pretty good hardware. It's nice now to get in the consoles where they're all pretty much of an equal power. The GameCube's probably the weakest of them, but we're building it to be really strong in the PlayStation, and working up to the Xbox and down to the GameCubes is not that much effort for us. The Xbox, just by its very nature, can do a lot of things art-wise that we just have to give it the art to do bump mapping and specular mapping, and it'll just do it. And we don't really have to create much in addition to what we're creating for all the other platforms.
Let me add one caveat to that too. Is that as we've worked with the platforms, we've certainly seen that GameCube is for whatever reason, the RAM is very low on GameCube. That being said, though, this game is being created in a way that is very much of a portal-based system where you can do things. I mean, it's very open. You'll see when you see some of the screenshots and stuff. Gamers are going to be able to move around in these huge environments for BloodRayne. However, that being said, we've definitely figured out a way to maximize the power on the GameCube so that the versions will be all very synonymous. GameCube, even with this limited RAM, has a lot of power. The Gecko processor they have is very fast. And so we're designing the game. Jeff and his team are in a position of being able to put the game together so that we're utilizing all the assets that we can kick out on Xbox. We're doing that as well on PS2 and GameCube. So no gamer, regardless of platform, will feel slighted for what type of system they have.
Is that kind of how you guys, and you may or may not want to comment, is that kind of how you guys view them, at least in terms of graphics capability, as Xbox One, PS2 2, and GameCube the third?
That's the ranking of their memory, and that's a big part of it. Like how much art can you load at a time? GameCube can't load that much art at a time. Xbox can load more than the PlayStation even. But we're designing the game in such a way that you can load everything that you have to load for a scene, even on the 24 megs of the GameCube. So it's the same game on all platforms.
The things that I've noticed watching as Mills implements things too, taken from all the parts. Since he's a producer, he kind of puts together all the art, all the programming, and a lot of the scripting as well. I've noticed that some things are easier done on the Xbox, and some are easier on the PlayStation 2, and vice versa. So it's like some trade-offs. Like the PS2, I've noticed is a lot better for particle effects and everything.
Okay, so there's ups and downs to both ones.
There's ups and downs to all of them. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like GameCube is the least powered of the bunch. GameCube, from several standpoints, GameCube is a very powerful system. Like I said, their processor, I was talking to Mark Randall the other day, and the processor on the GameCube is as phenomenal as the processor on any of the other systems. I mean, it's just the Gecko processor can run about four computations a second as opposed to 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other two big systems, they can run more. So it's all relative, dude. At the end of the day, we know that we've got a job to do, and Mills has been very strict about making sure that the job happens to get this game done at the best of its ability for Majesco. Majesco's been a fantastic publisher. We know that we've got to deliver to them a really kick-ass game, and everyone here has just been very, very astute about making sure that we give every platform what it deserves.
Cool. Are there going to be any sort of, maybe, and I know they've done it with like Tony Hawk or some other titles, for the different versions, are they going to be like level exclusives, or are they all going to be basically the same game, different platform?
There will be some exclusive things.
Some variations?
Yeah, we're still looking into all the different things we can do, because, like we said, so each platform has its own benefits that it does better than others.
Okay.
And we're going to exploit the best feature of each console in its own custom way.
Again, we're talking with Frederick, Joe, and now Jeff Mills of Terminal Reality. I think they're just like multiplying in that room or something. It has something to do with the room down there. Or maybe the temperature in Dallas. I don't know. I'm not going to get you going, you guys, because I'm a Skins fan, and this weekend we're playing.
We're not Cowboys fans.
I don't think there's any Cowboys fans left in Dallas.
I don't think there are either, but definitely they start winning, they come out the woodwork.
Have you guys set about how many missions and different number of levels are going to be contained within the game?
There's like 3 giant episodes, and there's usually a range of 4 to 5 sub-levels in each of those episodes.
Okay.
And each of the sub-levels is broken into 4 or 5 parts.
Okay, so you're probably talking upwards of around 20 or 30 different objectives and stuff you have to complete.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be, and I know that Xbox and PS2, who knows when theirs coming out, but I know their online stuff hasn't been said yet. Is there any plans to make this online or LAN, multiplayer compatible?
No, without their support right now, we can't plan ahead for that, unfortunately.
No online multiplayer, but there's possibility for some multiplayer with split screen. Yeah,
the split screen. That's what I meant. The LAN split screen, the console thing. That's what I mean. Just a little to touch on Nocturne a little bit. Have you guys have any plans to do like a Nocturne 2 with the event? Because one of the things people said about Nocturne was that it was like processor heavy because the graphics were advanced then and the lighting and everything. Now with today's people's faster, the average processor being faster. Any plans or talks about that?
Yeah, you know what? Nocturne is a cult hit, dude. We've got a website up. It's a fan-based website called Spook House that just generates a ton of response from people. I constantly am seeing new stuff come in from people from all over the world who are huge fans of Nocturne. We've certainly thought about it. We are always in talks about continuing the world of Nocturne. And I think that's something that's definitely going to happen. We've got a movie in development right now. There's a comic book in development for Nocturne. It should be coming out sometime in the spring. So we are very excited. TRI recognizes the property as being very strong, and Jeff Mills and Joe certainly want to continue the franchise. So that's something that I think we're going to look at doing at some point. Terminal Reality has not at all given up on it for all the Nocturne fans out there.
Cool.
And we recognize that there's a lot we can do with the current technology for consoles right now. So we're looking at it quite heavily, and there'll probably be an announcement at some point.
Sweet. I had no idea it was a Nocturne movie. Have you guys announced any director or people going to be in it or anything?
Yeah, actually, there was a big press release that hit all the movies, all the movie magazines, and quite a few of the gaming magazines a couple of weeks back, or a couple of days back. Actually, it was last week. Yeah, you guys need to check it out. Well, it's actually done through a separate group. I mean,
okay.
That was being done through Collision Entertainment, not through Majesco at all. That's an actual TRI property.
Right.
So that was done through Collision Entertainment, which is a film group that actually has the rights to the Nocturne film. So they did a big press release on that. And they're the same guys who are doing the Max Payne movie and the guys who are doing the American McGee's Alice. So we're very proud for that title to be heading into our films.
Just to maybe wrap up with BloodRayne, then we'll get to know you guys a little bit more. What is your guys' expected, and of course we know release dates change and fluctuate, so what's your ETA for BloodRayne?
The end of October and November of 2002.
Oh, wow, so you're talking about 11 months from now.
Actually, I'm going to talk, I would say Halloween.
Halloween
2002, that's when we ship.
Wow, okay, great. So we're kind of the first here at XGR with the information on BloodRayne.
Yeah, yes you are.
Yeah, sure, okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Excited about it.
So why don't we start with you, Frederick? Why don't you tell us maybe what do you do outside of gaming for fun? When you just get tired of computers and stuff and you just want to leave the computers alone, what do you do for fun?
A lot of sex, Robert. No, outside of this, man, I give Terminal Reality a lot of credit. These guys kick ass. They're very fun to hang out with. Probably some of the best guys since I've been in the industry that I've had a chance to hang out with. So we do a lot of just kicking it. A lot of the guys here in the company hanging out. We'll go either to parties or bars down in Dallas, which has a pretty trendy party bar scene. A lot of times like tonight we're going to get together. We're going to go to a local place and just sit and hang out and grab some drinks and then come back and play some Halo. And I will say that I think so much time in this industry. I'm sure Joe and Jeff will agree with this. So much time in this industry spent working on our games because we're all very passionate about making really good products, and we're really passionate about when we get an opportunity like this from a company like Majesco. We really want to blow it up and make it to be the biggest game it can be. So we spend a lot of time doing that, and we don't get a time to play a lot. But when I personally try to play, it's going to play some pool, hanging out, kicking it with friends, going to bars. I like to hang out with people.
Cool. How about you, Joe?
I didn't know there was an outside the computer. I like to watch a lot of movies, and like Frederick said, we hang out a lot after work. There's a local place that has this lethal Texas tea that has some Everclear in it or something. I mean, it is potent.
Nice.
We're there about, every other Friday or so, and
It's a great place to blow off some steam.
It's a great place to blow off some steam and just wipe the memory bank clean.
Right.
That's what that Texas tea sounds like. Well, guys, we totally appreciate your time, and maybe like next summer when you guys we're a little more closer to the release date and you guys can release some more information, we'd love to have you guys back on.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
All right, Jeff and Frederick from Terminal Reality. Visit terminalreality.com, and thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thank you.
Take care, buddy.